What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Everybody Eats Show. It's Bensky Belazaire.
Zito McP.
Right, and we got a good one for you guys today. So today we're going to be talking about e-commerce, right? How to get the bag in e-commerce. I'm sure you guys heard about drop shipping, or buying some things off of like AliExpress and all that good stuff. So we got some guys over here out of Minnesota talking about e-commerce. So first of all, thank you, Abdi and Salman. I want to make sure I got you pronouncing you guys right, from Top Figure. So thank you guys for being guests on our podcast.
Appreciate you for having us, for sure. Appreciate you.
Definitely.
Excited. Let's get it.
For all our listeners, make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. You're following us on all platforms: Instagram, everybodyeats.pod, Twitter, EBE pod, YouTube, Everybody Eats Show. Make sure you're on all those platforms. That's where we're dropping our gems. Right. So on that note, guys, if you guys can introduce yourselves, where you guys from, what's you guys' story? What's the story behind Top Figure?
Yeah, my name's Abdi Hassan, co-founder of Top Figure. I'm originally from Somalia and came to the US when I was around, I'd say 7. Yeah, 7. Came here not knowing no English, not speaking the language, and just really, battling, just learning the culture and things like that. It was a culture shock. But honestly, it's one of the best things that happened in my life because it showed me a whole new perspective. I came from a whole different culture. So like having an open mind was the thing I really learned at the beginning, and understanding like you're not going to survive if you don't have an open mind, and that's my background. I always had the entrepreneurship spirit. In middle school, I was literally selling candy out of my locker. You know what I'm saying? High school, I was selling sneakers. And then I got into throwing big parties, big events. And then that led me on to having my own marketing company and my e-commerce company now, Salman.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, my name is Salman, and pretty much, the same kind of, story. Both of us are refugee entrepreneurs, really came in here and really making a name for ourselves, and really also just going through the trenches of entrepreneurship and really failing a lot in our early journeys of e-commerce, and just seeing how, staying persistent and consistent and also documenting our journey was so important to us to really show people that it is truly possible. People who look like us and, can do the same thing and really reach high levels of success. It's just all about staying persistent, and, consistency is everything, man. So yeah, super excited to be on your guys' show.
Definitely appreciate that. I really like that backstory. So Salman, are you from Somalia as well?
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you both are. Okay, so that's real dope. I guess you said kind of you mentioned your early failures in e-commerce. So I guess if you could first of all talk about what is Top Figure, and then we can get into what some of those early failures I guess like were before.
Yeah.
Like led to where you guys are now.
Yeah. So Top Figure is an e-commerce agency / a program, right? So what we teach people how to get into e-commerce, how to start their own e-commerce brand. And the Top Figure side is you pick any niche and you got to be the top figure in that niche, right? So that's how it all started. Like, how do you become the top figure in the gym niche? How do you become a top figure in the beauty niche? You're the top figure. So that's how we came up with the name. And it's been about, we just hit 3 years on August, but it's really been a great journey. And one thing that we really had to focus on is in doing it for the culture is education is not the way it used to be anymore, right? With everything changing, you need to be educating yourself all the time, like, or else you're way behind. Like, for instance, you see before COVID and after COVID, things are never going to be the same. And the reason why we chose e-commerce is there was this interesting fact that it was growing at like 23% year over year. It has not slowed down, and it's always been growing. I was like, this is really interesting. Like, we should maybe try to become a part of this. And it landed on us. Luckily, like, a client was just like, hey, I'm doing these supplements. Do you guys know how to run ads? We never say no to anything. I was just like, yeah, we know. And then we learned as on the way. So, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't say no. So we learned on the way. But the moment we started doing more research, we're like, this is actually crazy. This is growing time over time. And that's really how we got into it. But we failed a lot, lost a lot of money, went into debt because of it, just because we didn't know the right strategy. And there wasn't like somewhere we could just go and learn like all the information just so we could like apply it right away. Mm-hmm. So it took years of just, being in the actual grind.
And that's what inspired us to really create a community around it, right? That's what the Top Figure community is about, is people helping each other really, chase excellence and really show everybody that, hey, you don't have to do it alone. There's people who look like you that are also doing the same thing. And really, that's what the Top Figure community is about. So that's what really inspired us to make it, because we didn't really have any people around us that, we could look up to and to really just, see, okay, all right, this person is doing this. We had to go seek mentorship, find people who were, doing this. And we were like, hey, let's create that community to really help somebody who doesn't have anybody to help them out. And, so that's really the backstory of it.
Nah, it's dope. Gotta be the change that you seek, right?
Yeah.
That's that quote, you know what I'm saying? So you didn't have someone to look up to, so now you guys are all those people that other people could look up.
Yeah, because our parents weren't business owners or none of that. So it was like we had to learn, through the trenches, really understand how to do it ourselves. So we were like, you know what? I don't want anybody else to really go through the same thing.
Oh.
Mistakes. And the main thing is too, like, it wasn't like the reason why people now work with us and things like is the relatability, right? Like if I'm dude in like a suit and like you can't relate with me, you're gonna get intimidated. You know what I'm saying? That's why we always stay true to our roots, you know what I'm saying? Proud of our culture, we're Somalis, and like embrace that.
Yeah, for sure. The only person you can be is yourself, you know, so definitely respect that.
I don't know. Are they frozen? Oh, okay.
Okay. It just froze on our side real quick.
But that hustle mentality is what kept you guys going throughout the, hard times, going in debt and just going negative. Yeah.
Yep. It's really like where it's just the background that we come from, because like we live in the greatest country and there's so much opportunities here that like nobody honestly has an excuse, right? If there isn't something you don't know, you literally have Google. You can Google anything in the world, right? Everything is out there. You just really have to just commit to yourself that you're going to go out and get the knowledge, right? There's literally more information on Google than the universities are teaching, So it's just like under any means mindset. That's the mindset that we install in people around us in our friendships. And it honestly falls down to who's around you. That's the next biggest thing. Like, who's your friend group? Like, literally, show me your friends and I can show you your future is a real quote, like it rubs off. If you're around people that are all trying to get it, y'all all are going to get it, But if you're around people that are just not trying to get it, that are holding you back, that are like slowing you down,
with negative mindsets,
it rubs off.
For sure. So I'm interested. You said you definitely had some early failures. So if you could kind of elaborate and talk about those, because people love to hear the success stories, but I feel like the failure stories are more valuable.
The losses never get talked about. Everybody always want to talk about when they win. And then,
It's the funny story. So our first big loss in the e-commerce industry was, so we got I don't know if you guys remember when those little strapless bras were like very popular.
Not sure.
It was like on Instagram and like it was just like these ads. Yeah, it was like 2016.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was like this. So like this was when we were really just getting into e-commerce, and we caught that trend when it was ending. So we sold like a couple. Were like, yo, we're really onto something, and then we went on Alibaba and ordered 1,000 units. Like put cash, ordered 1,000 units. And then like the store just like died off and it wouldn't sell. So we're literally, and our office is full of bras. We're in an office that's like bras everywhere, bro. It was just bras everywhere. We couldn't sell these bras. And I'm just looking like, yo, we did something so bad that we didn't that was our main failure. We didn't do proper product research, is this gonna last? It was just a quick trendy product, and we didn't do the proper research. So now from that failure, we learned like, hey, you have to do the proper research. You have to see like if it's gonna last. You have to see how big is the market. You can't just saturate yourself with one product and then don't do bulk like that. Send it to a warehouse, So it was just all these things we had to learn from, but I'm glad that it happened, because if it wasn't for that situation, we would have, not known to fix the things, and we would have just thought you're doing it the right way. Because the hardest thing is to unlearn something than to learn something new, right? Because the thing is, when you do something right one time, you think that's the right way. You might have gotten lucky. You might have, so.
Definitely. I think even for people, that's definitely a lesson for people in e-commerce in general, right? Because now you have more traditional way of like holding inventory, and then you could do like drop shipping where you don't necessarily have to hold it on your person or in your crib or anything like that. But that is one of I want to say consequences, but like when you decide to hold inventory, that's one thing you have to put in consideration. Is like, you're stuck with it. You're literally like, you need like a physical place to hold it, and then like if you can't sell it, like
it was it was crazy. Literally, like people would come in our office. Oh, you guys sell bras? It was literally bras everywhere.
Hey, what you guys end up doing with them then?
We still actually have them.
That's a 3-year lesson, bro. That's a 3-year lesson.
We still actually have.
Yeah, I think there's like probably like 100 pieces. We ended up giving a lot of them away.
Yeah, we gave a lot away, and then some of it is in our one of the storage units we use. There's some in there somewhere. But I think we're gonna keep it for a while, just for memories. Always gonna be that story.
We have a lot of different items that we have, like just to like show our audience. Like we document everything, by the way. Like our social media accounts, like we walk everybody through our stories of like, okay, this didn't work, and why didn't it work, right? Because it's important to really document the failures and to also share with people like, real stories, because that's people want to hear what's genuine.
Nah, that's true.
That's dope. That's true. You guys, the first guys I heard actually doing that, talking about that. So that's real dope. Yeah,
that's dope. So I guess like you said you didn't do good enough, I guess, like product research at that point. So I guess if you could just give some tips, like how do you do proper, like I'm sure you guys learned that lesson, right? So how do you do proper like market research, right? Because if you're selling if you're creating a product, that's kind of like on you. I'm making soaps, like I'm going to be making it and selling soap, like that's it. If you're opening an e-commerce store and you're selling a bunch of things, that's a little bit different. Now you're just trying to move products that are popular. So how do you do that?
Yep. There's a few different ways, right? One trick I wanted to share with you guys. Number one is so you can use existing platforms like Amazon, right? You look at their best-selling list, right? You can see what are the top selling products. Does really great job on data research, right? They know and understand what's selling. They have a great touch point on understanding consumer behavior. So you can bounce your ideas off of looking at that, their best selling list, and really making sure that, okay, hey, this is the type of product I can use. And also to complement that, you can use Google Trends, right? So we also complement that with Google Trends. We type it in, like, hey, let's say like, posture corrector. Okay, are people searching this? Is this a relevant search keyword that is being searched, right? You can look at like the data of how many people are searching for it, if it's actually starting to die off. You can look at the history of when, was it hot in 2019, 2020, started, why is that? So you can look at, those are really great resources to look at to see if it's a great winning product, something that you can sell.
And the way that you actually, in terms of actually picking the product, it's super important that you pick something that's in a evergreen niche. What I mean by this, for instance, beauty is evergreen. So let's say once you actually are paying for Facebook advertising, Instagram, you're paying for that traffic to come in. You want to be in an umbrella. If this specific product doesn't work, you could pick another beauty product that actually will work, right? For instance, jewelry. There's a lot of jewelry pieces, but if it's under the same umbrella, make sure you're doing that. And we don't recommend people doing those general stores with a lot of different things going on in there. Consumers are actually getting smarter right now. They know what's going on. A lot of them actually know drop shipping and AliExpress. A lot of the customers actually know that. So when you see a website that looks like that, they could actually see what's going on. So we say do a brand. So we head towards do a branded drop shipping, or you can actually order the inventory in-house. And the way you do that, you choose a color and you choose one niche. For instance, you don't see Gymshark trying to sell freaking like steering wheel covers. You know what I'm saying? You don't see Gymshark trying to sell these type of things. So it's like, once you pick an evergreen niche, have a whole brand around that niche.
Yeah, that way you can retain customers long term and not just short term. You don't want those quick run-ups like where you're just selling a specific product that's hot or not. Build a brand around it,
definitely, that's some gems.
You're always that way you're always scampering around and like trying to, you're always like you're making more work for yourself, essentially.
Exactly.
You're making way more work for yourself.
It's okay not to like, see like massive results right away. Pick something that is is gonna last long term, something that you're gonna do long term.
And that's kind of sometimes what hurts the e-commerce industry, because they just Google it and there's people that are posting all these numbers, and people come in with expectations of like, I need to get these insane numbers right away, not focusing on the quality of the product, not focusing on picking the right product, not focusing on taking your time, because this is a marathon, not a sprint. You know what I'm saying?
So would you say part of the investigation process for picking your next product, would it include asking friends, or like, just like ever just like
I wouldn't necessarily say so. I would say that's more than important than asking friends is doing, checking on Instagram, checking influencers, see what influencers are wearing, see what people are doing, just more on the actual market, right? Because you want to get data from people who are your actual buyers, not like, yeah, dude, that's like a nice product, but they're not going to buy from you. You know what I'm saying? They're not your essential client. So I would say find your ideal customers and like meet their needs. What are they struggling with right now? And do research around that. So that's another way to also find it. So that's how you would verify it, not from your friends, but people who are your ideal customers.
Yeah, because you don't want opinionated,
we're always data driven.
Data is data.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It always comes back to knowing your audience every time.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing, because data never lies. Data never lies,
As though we had an episode yesterday, and we were talking about Facebook ads, getting your analytics, getting your numbers, your data, demographics.
Yeah, looking at the data driven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So definitely. Definitely. If you guys are thinking about, starting to get into e-commerce, these are some of the important things you have to think about. And I mean, even to ourselves, like we also have a clothing brand that we use drop shipping for, and that's a lot of things we kind of had to just figure out. Along the way. At first, it was kind of, mentality is different, and then you start to learn more of like the data and being more strategic with your drops, different type of ads you're doing, and things like that. So.
And another thing that's very underutilized, here's the biggest thing we leverage, and a lot of people actually don't leverage them, is micro influencers. Not the influencers that have millions of followers, but the ones that have under 100,000 followers. So they're in a very interesting place, because number one, their audience feels more connected to them, and that's a higher chance of
very local. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's a higher chance of people buying from them, rather than just a person that has millions of followers and the audience is everywhere. So we look micro influencers that have very niche focus and that also engage with their audience. Here's what me go with commenting back and interacting with their followers. That means they have a high engagement rate, and it's a higher chance for a person to purchase from that, so that's another way I do research for finding the influencers. But micro influencers are so underutilized. They're way underpriced. Like, we get some that just literally ask for a free product. They just send me the product, I'm gonna post you, and they bring sales that way,
Yeah, a lot of times people shoot
you can ask for.
Yeah. A lot of times people shooting for the big guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, the person, like you said, the person with 1 million followers. But it's sleeping on the people, like we're gonna call them like B class celebrities or whatever, or C class celebrities. You know what I'm saying? So like they still have influence too. And
sometimes they have a higher engagement.
Yeah. And the cool thing, I think Gary Vee, I'm a attribute it to Gary Vee, but the people, because he talks about this stuff, right? So I'm assuming Gary Vee said it, but the people in that type of bracket is interesting because they have their followers under them, but then they also, like, say they're like a B class celebrity, right? Like, you have the C class people who listen to them, or like their regular followers who listen to them, but then you also may have a couple like A class followers who may still look at what they're posting. You know what I'm saying? So they're right in between, where they have a large, like grassroots following, like you said, interactive, but then they also have the potential to have higher celebrities, so still looking at their product.
Always someone looking down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. They're right in the middle. So, they got up above and below.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Quote of the day.
America is a concept. Anywhere in order to get rich, you have to make someone else richer is America.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say it again. America is a concept.
Yeah.
Anywhere in order to get rich, you have to make someone else richer is America. So anywhere in order to get rich, you have to make someone else richer is America.
Capitalism at its finest.
Yeah, I was gonna say that defines capitalism. Who said it though? I don't know who said that. I don't know who said that.
Artist, famous artist. He has his own TV show.
He has his own TV show.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Who?
Did he?
No, he's what would you consider him? Rap? I consider him rap.
Lil Dicky?
No.
Oh.
That owns a TV.
Close.
T.I.?
No.
Oh.
Is it what's his name?
Jay-Z maybe? No, he said
TV show.
If I give you time, I feel like you guys are gonna get it. TV show. It's like he was on 2 TV shows. That counts.
Wait, I think. Hold on. Let me.
He did a
take
movie?
one guess.
All right. Go.
Is it? Oh, I guess. Is it?
Please get it.
Is it? What's his name? He's literally on top of my. Who is it? Is it? No, he can't be that smart. That's too deep.
That's crazy.
Nah, say it. Wait. Say it.
You don't know that.
Huh?
say it, guess. You don't know that. Yeah, exactly.
Is it Drake?
Oh, no. No.
because he's been in TV.
Because Drake was in Degrassi, you know?
Nah, yeah, but if I say it, I'm gonna give it up. So I don't know how to like.
I don't know. I don't
Give us
know.
a hint. Like, give us a hint. Like, one more hint. TV show we know. What's something else that he's famous for?
He did comedy. He did stand up.
Stand up.
He also likes to write. He's an artist, great artist, in my opinion.
Snoop Dogg?
Comedy.
Snoop Dogg?
No. You guys really don't like. All right.
Comedy?
Eminem? What's it called?
No.
Oh,
Black.
Dr. Dre?
Dr. Dre?
No. Dr. Dre did comedy.
Nah.
He has a stand-up special on Netflix.
I don't know. I
Really?
really don't know.
Oh, Ice Cube.
No.
I really don't know. I really don't.
All right. Childish Gambino.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I would have not thought of that one.
That's crazy.
That wasn't
He has a
coming to
stand-up
mind.
special on Netflix. He has a show called Atlanta. He was in Community. Yeah, and in this movie he was
This is America.
yeah, he did This Is America. But he played a character called Denny in Denny Maroon in Guava Island, that movie with him and Rihanna. It's on Amazon Prime Video. So
Interesting. Well, that's good to know. I'm about to quiz some people on that. I would not guess that.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Wait, so can you say a quote one more time?
yeah, since we spent so much time guessing.
Yeah, we gotta talk about it.
America is a concept.
Now I'm like thinking back. I'm like, he would say something like that.
He would say something like that. All right. So America is a concept. Anywhere in order to get rich, you have to make someone else richer is America.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wow.
Nah, that's true.
I mean, who you guys like, even in our case, like Colon Line, who are we buying from to go get this printed on and then go get it shipped out and, this, that, and the third. And same with drop shipping, you guys bought 1,000 units of bras to get yourselves richer. And a few years later, you still got some bras.
But yeah, that's capitalism, right? Like whenever you're investing or you're doing something, like even if you have your own business, you're still like helping somebody else's pockets. You know what I'm saying? Even if you have your own business, you're getting materials from somebody. You're getting, if you're shipping things manually, you helping the post office, Amazon. You know what I'm saying? So there's always money being
Someone's getting
circulated.
help,
There's always somewhat money being circulated. So that's what I see it.
You guys got thoughts?
That's why it's good to just like, you know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Everybody has to, get a piece of this pie. Like it's really like,
everybody eats.
Everybody eats.
Everybody eats. The word. All right. So on that note, could you say that one more time, and then we'll wrap this segment up and do our final one.
America is a concept. Anywhere in order to get rich, you have to make someone else richer is America.
That's right. Childish Gambino. All right. So, in this last segment, if we could kind of talk a little bit more about e-commerce. So you kind of broke down how to find like a trending a product to sell, right? So I guess like if you could break down after you find a product, I guess like what are the next steps in terms of like, all right, do I just like where should I be ordering this from, or who should I be ordering it from, and I got to get like a website, right? So I guess like, you know, what are kind of like those next steps after finding whatever product you want to purchase or sell.
Yeah, no, once you do get that product, right, is to automatically just start building a brand around it, right? So really understand that, you know, you have to have a great looking brand, set up a Shopify store, really, you know, invest in really getting assets, like get the product, at least one product. If you're drop shipping, at least still get one product in-house, understand how it feels, how does it look, is it actually a quality product? Before you sell something, you have to understand that, is it actually quality? And feel the product, really understand that, you know, what you're selling is a representation of you, right? So never really sell something that's going to break right on delivery or something like that, because it's going to create more headaches. So that's the first step. Once you do get the product in hand, create assets that you can market off of that. You know, don't just copy products, shoots from other places and all that kind of stuff. You can use, if you're using, there's great tools that you can use, Pexels, and like, you know, if you can't afford those, to get like a professional photographer and stuff like that, you know,
take your own. Now the iPhone 12
but the iPhone, like really got like really good camera. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, your customer will see that. They'll peep game that you're not willing to invest in the brand, you know? So understand that, you know, make sure to have great assets, take good quality pictures, take good quality videos for your ads, you know, and really just, that's what the most important thing is. And from there on, you'll learn as you go, really. Like you'll really like be able to understand the things that make what a good brand is. So that's the biggest, most important thing. A lot of people just speed through that. And that's what we see a lot of people failing, and just they skip a lot of that part. And we really emphasize the beginning is the most important. Your launch is what matters.
No, definitely. Okay. Definitely building a good brand, something that, you know, people can associate with, kind of like you said, you know, you don't want people to associate trash product with your brand.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard a quote somewhere like, people feel, I think, I hope I'm not misquoting it. It was just like an interview, I think. They said, people think black business is too ghetto or looks too,
I've heard that.
I've heard like the association, you know, and I don't know, it rubbed me the wrong way, but I was like,
it's messed up, because the thing is, like a lot of times people can get the, you know, idea of like, you know, especially with the whole discount, like people just asking for discounts and stuff like that in our culture heavily, like, you know, hey, it's a black owned product, but like, you know, it's a quality product. But if you focus on the quality of your brand, you know, you're really, there shouldn't be any reason as to why people should put you in a box and just label you and, you know, blanket statement you that your product is shitty. But because you got to really focus on really making sure the customer experience, like just invest in yourself, invest in the product. You're not gonna run into any issues after that. So
no, definitely. It goes, like you said, it goes back to investing in yourself and investing in your product. Like you can't really expect your customers to invest and believe in you if you're not like put it in, you know, doing it yourself
same
first.
love to yourself. Yeah.
You know.
And then another big issue too is people just wanna, they don't really focus on the details. You know, in this game, details go like a long way. For instance, we add a thank you card in all of our shipments. Every product we ship, we add a thank you card, and we add, hey, come back onto your next order. Here's an extra 20% off the next order. Understand, once you pay for a customer, you already paid for that customer's advertising. So whatever, if they come back, spend again, that's going to be pure profit, because you don't got to pay for them you already advertise to them, you know? So think about different ways of having a customer spend more than just one time, which, for instance, think about Amazon. how many times do people go on Amazon? They keep shopping with Amazon because they like that first experience, right? So if you don't put your all into that first experience to when people like it, they're never going to shop with you again. And then it's just like you have one sale. I don't like just one sale. I want this customers coming back and again, buying for their friend, buying for their cousin, buying. And there's people that literally come back and they shop with us every birthday. Every time there's someone's birthday, they buy one of our products just because you'll see they bought like 8 times, 9 times, you know? And that's because every time we invest a lot into the experience, the unboxing, we make it feel like it was worth the money that they spent, you know, not just keep getting them angry and just giving them something, you know. So that's another big thing too.
Yeah, if a lot of times like on our story highlights for our products, customers, we have like so much customers that just tag us and show off, you know, our brand, because and that is like another piece of advertising, because they're just showing and, you know, showing off our brand, and that really goes the extra mile and makes that experience, you know, not just one sale, but, you know, shows it to their friends and family.
No, it's making, like you said, it's making that experience, you know, and like making them want to come back.
Yeah, yeah. That's why, like, you know, in family or most restaurant, like family-owned restaurants and stuff that are small joints, you know, there's always that real good customer service. And with
And
the paying for the customer, no free promo, but display. Every time I get a display metal poster, they always give you, I think, I want to say it's like 15 to anywhere between 15 and 30% off your next order. So it's like you're so tempted to go back. You can't help, you know. So
yeah, and it's they've already, because you got to think about it, and don't feel greedy about the next order. Make sure you give them a good discount because you want them to come back, because you already spent advertising on this customer. You don't want them just spending one time with you. How do they come back? You know, how do you increase the LTV, the lifetime, you know, value of that customer, and increasing it, you know?
Definitely. That's some gems. That's definitely some gems, some things to keep in mind. Like, you know, it kind of goes past the numbers, you know. It's not, that shows you business isn't just the simple numbers of, you know, buy this, sell this, you know. That's that intangible feeling, experience, customer service part that a lot of people, they're not going to teach that in school, really, honestly. You know, that's something that you have to figure out as you're selling, as you're going through it, you know, how to really truly care about the customer at the end of the day, trying to make their experience the best. So definitely appreciate that, Jim.
Absolutely.
yeah, for real.
Another thing that you guys do, I know you guys have an ebook on how to find a 6-figure product. So is that similar to kind of like how we were talking about today in terms of like tips on e-commerce? So if you could kind of talk about that ebook for a little bit.
Yeah, so that ebook is just something we put together, and it really just shows people how to actually find their 6-figure product, from product experience to what makes a winner, and all the gems we shared. There's like a lot more in there, and that ebook is just really like finding like your first actual product, because we've had lots of students and we had a lot of people, and the main question always is, how do I find a product? That's like bare entry. They don't even know like they don't care about the advertising. They want to know like, how do I find a product? Like, yo, how do I find a product? Yo, how do I? And
it's not like they're trying to ride the wave, you know?
Yeah. And the biggest thing is people are too stuck on that part. We're just like, hey, let's just get this part out the way so they can focus on the actual important things. You know, yeah, finding your product is important, but building a brand off that product. Because me and him can be selling the same exact product and we'll be getting 2 different results just because of the marketing. You know what I'm saying? And it could be the same exact product. So we're just like, let's just put it all on this ebook, and people can just read it and they can just get it like that, you know?
So from my understanding, we talked about building a brand off a certain product. So let's say you specialize in specifically like flip-flops for swimming, let's say, right? And then you started, let's say his store just simply sold flip-flops, and then your store sold flip-flops, the wet caps, the goggles. Would that attribute to your like increase in sales as opposed to him in your example?
Yeah, that's one of the ways. Yep, absolutely. So having like more different product variations is one way, increasing the lifetime value, and then the unique marketing angle that you use to really distinguish yourself. So the product video ads that you do are, you know, unique, and you actually spend money on investing into like having like a nice product experience, product packaging, all that will distinguish you from that other competitor, you know. And it will just, that's what it comes down to, really. A lot of times people think that, you know, you could be selling the same product and you might think that it's not getting any sales, but it just comes down to your marketing.
It's literally all marketing is the biggest part. And like how the aesthetics of your brand, like when they go to your social media, how's the aesthetics looking like? Are you making it look nice, sleek? Is it looking futuristic? Do you look legit? You know, customers are actually able to understand.
They're not looking to buy.
Yeah,
they're looking for reasons not to buy.
They're gonna check your reviews. They're gonna check like, oh, they're looking for literally any red flag to get raised for them to say, I'm not buying this. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I do on Amazon just to make sure, you know, I'm getting the right thing up.
Yep. You're looking for, and then to reverse engineer that is key. And there's this really great tool that we use on our Shopify stores. And, you know, we'll share this here. It's called Lucky Orange. It is a tool that shows you exactly where that customer is on the store. So it'll actually show you this customer is actually scrolling. It'll show you live video of where they're scrolling, where they're exiting, and then like what button they're clicking on your store. So you'll see like a trend. You'll look at like, you know, 40 customers, they all did the same exact thing. Wow, we didn't even know this part was missing. Our checkout page was messed up. You know what I mean? Or the load time is so slow that they ended up just leaving our website. So it's like that, using like that tool will really give you great data and understanding what your customers are doing and seeing that trend. You'll see what trends are popping up in their behavior.
Definitely. That's clutch. Knowing that's literally really knowing your customer and knowing like the data, like really understanding.
Got the magnifying glass on them.
Yeah, you can really see. Like, they go to the hat section and then, you know, they tend to hop out, and then you can kind of like see like, all right, you know, what's so popping about the hats that they go, but then also what's wrong that they're not purchasing, you know.
Exactly.
You know, so
you'll discover a lot, because a lot of times we make our own decisions sometimes, and it's wrong to really sit there and say like, hey, I think this will work. It's just not really smart to do that, because customers will give you that data and to be able to pivot and understand, okay, we made this decision of, you know, making this page better because customers weren't able to check out easy. You know, we were making the checkout was buried under so much product description, you know, so you'll be able to see what works and what doesn't work. Because a lot of times we make emotional driven decisions like, I think this will work, when in reality, it can't, you know, that's not what's happening. So
definitely appreciate that, man. That's
a lot to chew on, you know.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about, especially if you're doing the store. You know, definitely like I said, like those like the intangibles, you know what I'm saying? Like those are the not numbers part. That's the part to really kind of goes like business psychology, you know. It's like, you know, understanding, you know, how the customer thinks. And things like that. So that's really clutch and really convenient for knowing your demographics.
Yeah. About 30% of our revenue comes from the back end money. A lot of people don't even have their back end money set up properly, from tracking the right way, from retargeting the person, from literally email marketing, text marketing, Bing, you know what I'm saying? There's Bing ads people don't leverage, Pinterest ads, you know what I'm saying? Google, you know what I'm saying? So it's like one way, you know, after this customer comes to my website and they leave some form of track, you know, usually we have pop-ups, they'll give us their email or phone number, and that's all I need to keep hitting them up until they eventually purchase. You know, we'll see a customer didn't buy for a month, you know, but they eventually bought. So it's like, never forget the importance of having your back ends correct so you get as much in as possible. You know, it's like setting up a net. You don't want your net wide so things can fall through. We make it so tiny so less things fall through. You know?
We gonna find you. We gonna find you.
It gets creepy how much we follow after like you come to the one visit. That's all I need. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta get something, you know. You need like, you know,
you can't leave empty-handed. But nah, I mean, we were talking about that yesterday. Like that's how like Facebook ads and like how Facebook and those social media companies work. Like once you give them the information,
like,
that's how they know how to target you.
They start selling your data, you know. Let's be honest.
Yeah, nothing.
Like, you know, this is no different.
if you don't know what's, like what the product is, more than likely you're the product, that's being sold. So it's like, that's how the world of, like social media has become. It's like we're constantly sold off to like, different types of advertisers. And then it's like, that's why we really understand like and teach people what we do, because it's like you have some sort of understanding of how this tool works.
Yeah.
And how I'm being sold off, it's like some sort of control over your own data and your own intellectual property.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, the more you understand how to do it and how to use it yourself, the more you understand how the world works and like how you interact with it like that. So, yeah, that's true. I wanted to ask if, I guess this is one question for each of you. If you could go back to when you guys first started either your first business or maybe when you first started Top Figure, if you could tell yourself back then how many years ago, a piece of advice, like what would it be?
Oh yeah, the biggest thing for me would be like adapting faster, right? As business owners, one of our weakest strength is when you think you know it, and this could actually hold you from making a lot of money or not making a lot of money. It was some points we used to just think like we knew a lot. I want to always be adapted to what's the newest thing. Like, how do I know that's going to be the new thing 2 months in advance? You know how much leverage that gives you, being just 2 months ahead of all your competitors. So adapting and also always being on my toes, and always there's a new level to hit. So that's one thing I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, what I would say is really just like understand that, just overcoming that failing part, it really puts an emotional and mental toll on you. And I would have just told myself, hey, like looking back, just keep on failing and not looking back. Really just keep going. Really just like stay consistent and no matter what, and really just understand that every single failure just led to where we are today. And it's just that the mental like game that the people around you, especially like friends, family, like all that influence around you saying like, hey, what you're doing is not right, or what you're doing is wrong, or all these kind of things like play into, hey, am I doing this? Like, am I on the right track? That would get to me a lot, especially throughout our journey. So it was like going back, if I told myself like, hey, ignore all that, just keep on going, keep pushing through. And it's like, I'm glad that we stuck to our journey. And, but it was definitely hard. There were a lot of times where we questioned what we were doing, and that's the one thing is just I would have told myself, just block out the noise and just keep going.
Sure, for sure.
Fall forward. Yeah, just keep
fall forward.
Fall forward.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
So that's it from on my end. I know you want to remember to ask them.
Yeah,
song,
right?
Yeah. So, we remember this time.
So yeah, we ask our guests all the time, or we try to. We're not on our hot streak anymore, but if you could give one song each of you that describes how you feel about your business, Top Figure.
Mm-hmm. I think I'll say like all I do is win-win no matter what. Like I really think that like DJ Khaled's anthem really gets us hyped all the time. Like just like really just like it's a feel-good song that just like really is like a nice anthem, and it just portrays like, hey, no matter what, like anything is a win, small or big, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. You know what I mean? It could mean anything. So, and that's to really just understand that, never quantify like, what a win is. It can be anything, so that's what I think would Top Figure.
Mine is, I would choose Nipsey Hussle, Dedication.
Yeah, dedication.
You know what I'm saying? Because this takes dedication. This isn't made to be easy. Not everybody could do it. And if everybody would do, then everybody would actually do it. So it's like dedication, like we're committed the next 10 years of our life to just like head down, just grind. Keep on
growing the community.
Yeah. And that's what I would say, like dedicated to the grind.
Oh, for sure. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that for sure. So those are two songs added to the playlist.
We got more Nipsey now on it.
Yeah, I think we have one or two.
Yeah, I think we have two now.
We have two Nipsey songs on there now. So perfect. So on that note, yo, guys, I really appreciate you guys hopping on the show. Before we leave though, if you could tell the listeners where to find you, how to get the ebook, all that social, all that good stuff, so people know how to get in touch with Top Figure.
Yeah. So our main website is topfigure.co. Topfigure.co on all social platforms at Team Top Figure. And if you want the ebook, it's still going on. I think we still have a special right now for the whole month of Black History Month. We're giving away our ebook for free. So that's something dope we're doing this whole month. So if you just go to clubhouseproduct.com, you can get it there. Our program is only $297 to get you in and get you started in e-commerce. You can reach out at Team Top Figures IG. We'll send you the link, or you could go to topfigure.co.
Yep.
And then my at name is at Top Figure Wisdom.
And then mine is at Top Figure South.
For sure. Definitely. So you guys definitely make sure you guys stay in touch and go get yourselves that ebook. You said it's free. You can't do better than that.
For the rest of the month.
Yeah, free for the rest of the month. That's the best price there is. So make sure you guys are educating yourself. You know, take advantage of that.
Also another thing, they can text us too for more e-commerce tips. If you guys want to text 612-446-0671.
For sure. Could you say that number one more time for the folks?
Yeah, 612-446-0671.
Perfect.
Yeah, so if you
text podcast, text the word podcast to it, so we'll know it came from you guys.
For sure, appreciate that.
Yep.
For sure. So on that note, that concludes today's episode. So again, make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel and you turn on those notifications so you know whenever we drop an episode or current events. Make sure you're following us on all platforms. On Instagram, that's everybodyeats.pod. On Instagram, on Twitter, EBE pod. Make sure you're following us on all platforms. Thank you very much. YouTube channel, Everybody Eats Show. So make sure you're subscribed on all that, right? You don't want to miss out. Make sure you're sharing with your friends. Don't be selfish. Everybody eats. We'll see you guys next week.